All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy to have you here. All right, we are about to get started. Welcome to the Monday morning. Welcome to the Monday morning. Today, I want to welcome you from the previous week, all the achievements you had from the previous week. And all right, so happy to have you all here. Okay, all right. So protocol observed. Protocol observed. Just get into the chat. Let me know where you are joining us from. Just get into the chat. Let me know where you are joining us from. I want to respect the presence of Mr. Muvirus Perito, one of our V3s. I want to congratulate one of our V3s onto the call that became a V3 via the weekend. Mr. Mugelwa Alozius from Uganda. Congratulations, sir. V4 is calling your name. All right, okay. I want to respect the presence of leader OBM. Okay, all right. So I want also to respect the presence of one of our great leaders, leader Kojo from that side of Ghana. I've seen leader Rimari, happy to see you here. Okay, I've seen our guest trainer today is already on the call. All right, that's beautiful. Okay, we are only 28 on the call, so let's invite. Let's invite. All right, let me make some. Right, happy to see you, Batra from India. Happy to see you, Kari from Ghana. Happy to see you, Leader Elizabeth from Lancaster in UK. Happy to see you, Branze from Indonesia. I want to congratulate our Indonesia team for the new launch of your exchanger Indodex. We are proud of Royal Q and we believe the future is more brighter for you from that side of Indonesia. Happy to see you, Nathan from Nigeria. Happy to see you, iPhone 3030 from Nigeria. Happy to see you, Sinkundala from South Africa. Happy to see you, Jeremy from Qatar. Happy to see you, Worthpin from Nigeria. Happy to see you, Adebayo from Nigeria. Protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we can have more people get on board. We can have more people get on board this morning onto our morning Zoom call, ladies and gentlemen, onto our morning Zoom call this morning, specifically to make sure that we can deliver a very, very good information. All right, we already on the Zoom call. Right, happy to see you, Leader Emmanuel from China. Happy to see you, Paul Genda from Arusha. All right, it's beautiful. Happy to have you here. Today, it's going to be very phenomenal. Already our guest speaker is already in the house. Okay, one of the amazing leaders I've seen grow from scratch. Very visible and amazing with good crypto knowledge. He's already on the call with us this morning. All right, happy to have you, one of our V2s, our great leaders, Leader Zuma from South Africa. Happy to have you with us here. Okay, happy to have you, Leader Derek from United Arab Emirates. Happy to see you, Leader Tom from that side of Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, protocol observed. Without delay, I want to open up our morning Zoom call this morning. And I want to promise you for the best, ladies and gentlemen. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be looking at a specific topic. And usually, we want to have a continuous understanding from the previous topic that we do every Saturday, and that is our last topic of the week. And every Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, we go in an extra mile. We go in an extra mile and do what we call new Royal Q user orientation. So this morning, it's a privilege to have one of our coach mentors this morning, and that is none other than Coach Musa from that side of Lira. All right, Coach Musa is from Lila, ladies and gentlemen. And in this morning call, he's going to be explaining a little bit how do you set your robot? You know, it's one of the important aspects when it comes to our business, the margin call configuration, because your floating loss, your results depend on how you set your robot. So you may be an expert in picking a coin, but without the right settings, you may also not be winning all the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, without delay, allow me invite our guest speaker this morning, all the way from that side of Lila. All right, that is none other than Coach Musa. Welcome, my brother.
All right, thank you very much, Leader Julius. Thank you very much, everyone on the call this morning. This is Coach Musa, and I'm going to be the host this morning, and I'll take you through things that may seem very easy and familiar and usual, but at least if you take keen interest in learning more, you may end up opening and broadening your knowledge in that regard, therefore. So a number of people, and I'm speaking this out of experience, a number of people who actually learned about this opportunity, this crypto trading opportunity, more especially with the use of this amazing robot, RoyalQ, have a challenge, especially when it comes to setting up their respective robots to allow the robot break big from the crypto space. And it is one of the things that has made a difference between those who are winning greatly and then those who are still struggling to win big. And it is very important, therefore, that as a trader, as a crypto trader, as someone who has joined the crypto space with the intention of, harnessing actually math wealth from this crypto sports trading, you are supposed to learn your robot pretty well. You have to understand your robot to the dot. Because remember, the owners or the brain behind RoyalQ have given you a service. They have given you a product that you have already paid for, and there is no way they are going to help you manipulate the market unless you take keen interest in learning and knowing how best you can manipulate your robot to give you what you want from the market. Because this robot has been set already based on cryptocurrency signals. So there is nothing that is going to happen in the crypto space when the robot is using, when you're using the robot and you may end up not achieving what you want from the market, because everything already has been taken care of by the parameters set within the robot. So it's up to you to learn. Now, this is very important. Don't think that by having the robot, you should now learn. You want to automate everything. Sometimes there is power in manipulation, because remember, the robot works on your command, right? It will exactly do what you want it to do. The default settings that the robot comes with, that is I would call it the factory settings. Yeah. And you have liberty to adjust them, because they're not fixed digits, they're not fixed parameters. They're things you can adjust and play around with and win big from the market. So it amazes me when some people still end up crying, complaining that my robot is not working, or my robot stopped working now 2 months, 1 month, and yet there is nothing you can do about it. Yet there is a lot you can do about it, and still, because the beauty of the robot is to give you the leverage, to give you the opportunity of enjoying yourself when you have a machine, when you have a tool that is actually making for you the money. You have to make the money. Even when you're asleep, you have to have a source, a channel through which money is coming in. whether you're on or you're off. Yeah. So, and that is what this robot presents. It gives you that avenue. For some of us who tried Forex trading back then, when we used to do it manually, we had a lot of fear. In fact, you would win, but at times you may end up being liquidated. In fact, you lose. You may end up losing everything you won. Why? Because we were doing it manually. And we are bringing in a lot of, the emotional aspect. We are bringing in a lot of, in fact, we weren't stable in mind. We had a lot of sleepless nights sometimes just analyzing the market to understand the market. But now you have a robot, especially in the crypto area, where now, all the crypto arena, where now you can just do a little and then it gives you much from the market. So that is, I'm going to take you through briefly today, this morning, on how you can continuously profit when you're using this Royal Q robot. And they're very simple and basic things. You don't have to stress up your mind that much. It's very simple. That last week, I think it was on Friday, I did share with the people who were on the call that you can actually profit irrespective of the market direction, be it bullish or bearish market, be it range or any other form of market, if at all it is there. And I did explain that pretty well, why it is very important. If you're doing cycle trading, it is important for you to manipulate the margin call drops and then the multiple buy-in ratio to suit your capital and allow the robot to continuously trade, because as it is buying, it is creating a new average price, an average price which is closer to the price of the coin at that time when it bought. So meaning the likelihood that, as depending on how you had set your distributed and take profit allocation percentages, you will be in position to be closing in profit every now and then. And I demonstrated that clearly. And I will still go ahead today and try to remind us and take us through that aspect as well. And what I'm going to also show us today, I'm going to show you that much as you may have a very big floating loss, you are actually not in the loss, provided you understand the power of cycle trading. And in most cases, if you find yourself in situations or in a situation where the market is already going against you that much, the robot has already made maybe first buy, second buy, fourth buy, and it has already made 4 calls, in other words, and then you see there's a likelihood that it was going to make the 5th call, just simply go and change your strategy mode to a strategy mode that will permit or allow you benefit from those sub-cells. All right, I demonstrated that, and I'm going to do that today. Why? Because purposely my intention is, I want us not to think, I don't want us to have a mind that some of you had when you were doing returns on investment. It was in returns on investment where you are just told to give your money to a particular company or a particular individual and then relax, and then it will do the rest for you. Here, yes, you can benefit as well from the other aspect of the leverage, that freedom. But then you should also understand pretty well, much as you're enjoying the freedom, what the robot will be doing for you. And it should work because you have commanded it to do so in that aspect, especially for those with little capital. Trust me, for those with a lot of capital, you may even not need the manipulation, especially if you want to be a passive trader, because you just put in that money, use the default setting, and you still win, right? But if you have you have very little capital and you want to increase your capital, right, to maybe to some, to some amount, but you want to grow slowly, but steadily, then you will need to have time for your robot, right? So let me share my screen. I'm already seeing a hand up. I don't know, but let me share my screen and briefly take you through that. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen and let me just do this just a little. Just a minute. Let me. All right. So let me share my screen and I take you briefly through what I intend to take you through this morning. A simple and all right. So particularly I'm personally doing both cycle trading and one shot, and I'm going to demonstrate the explanation based on my cycle trade. But before I can do that, let me first block some messages. So before I can do that, I want us to I want to use this BTCST, which most people are crying of and are already complaining that, some of actually I've been getting messages from some people whom I think I even don't know, but because I took them through last week through some training, and they're telling me now this BTCST is very down. Don't you think we shall wait forever? And I was actually trying to share with them that what do you mean you wait forever? Because from my own understanding is that what makes trading more beautiful, okay, is the aspects of the up and down movement of the crypto, right? If you don't have, even when you're doing the normal traditional, buying and selling, let's say you have a shop, you benefit from the difference. Even when you have things you're going to buy on, in wholesale, you will buy at a certain price with the intention of raising it to some price so that you're able to profit. Now, if the market just remains, stagnant or remain, the way it is and doesn't go down, how are you going to profit much? You won't profit much. So it is very important that we allow the market take its course. And whatever course it is taking, it is up to us to derive the best possible way of benefiting from that in terms of profit. Okay. Just a minute. Let me refresh. All right. So let me open my BTST. Now, this is a coin in which I have so far used $1,000. This I already have $1,000 in this coin. Just a minute. If you can see the position amount, it's already over $1,000. But I'm very relaxed and not worried at all. And it is at negative 39.93. And that is the return rate. Now, simply, I'm going to make you understand this area first before I dive into what I want to share with us. The return rate, or what you would probably call the floating loss percentage, is just the difference between the average price, which is the price at which you will have, or the robot would have made its first buy, and then the current price, or the price or the value of the coin currently in the market. That is just the difference. Okay. So now what happens is, for you to say you are already in floating loss and you aren't making money, let me just describe something briefly. Let me just take you through something briefly. I want to take you through this area here, the sub warehouse. The sub warehouse simply means it is your strategy is in a mode which allows for sub sales. Now, when you tap on it, for example, if I just tap on it like this, I can tap on it, you realize that based on our configuration, for those who are there, who were there last week, I already demonstrated this, but I just want us to reflect briefly on what I was doing last week. If you realize that this is our fifth call, and this was the average price at which the fifth call was made, and this was the position quantity, or the amount of the coin bought when the robot bought at this average price, right? And this is the amount of when robot was actually entering the market at that price. Meaning this amount here bought this quantity of the coin, and that was the price by then, the average price at that time. Now, what happens is this. Had it been that at this point, when the robot made a boat, okay, the market changed direction or it reversed, all right? You realize that the average price is here, and at that time, let me go to this one here to bring a better picture. Bring in a better picture. Now, my robot has already, let me just check on the number of calls that my robot has already made. Now, my robot has already made 19 calls. Sorry. It's already at the 19th call, right? So it has already bought 19 times. So what does this one therefore mean? It means that if I come back here on this point, on the sub warehouse, I'll go to the 19th call and I see what is the average price. I already know in the market currently, this is the price of this BTCST. Currently, this is the price. But I want to see at the 19th call, what average price was created. Because it is from the average price that I'm going to get an insight at what percentage my robot is going to sell in case the market reverses at that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the 19th call. I'll tap here. You just tap here, sub warehouse, and then you scroll down, you go to the 19th call. This is it. This is my 19th call. Now, it means that when the robot bought, when it made the 19th call, this was the average price created. Remember, what is the current price? The current price is 20.56, isn't it? And then the robot bought and created an average price of 20.74. So you already have 20.56. Is it 20.56? 20.57. So you already have 20.57. Sorry, 20.57. All right. Then the average price created is okay. So we have 20.57. That is the current price at the market of the coin in the market. Then this is the average price created, right? So this is 20.74. Now, this average price created is closer to this current price than when the robot made the 5th call. You see this? This was the average price. So literally meaning that you don't have to wait for the coin to go above 38.55 before you can profit. You only need this. This is now the most interesting part. You only need this. There is in the 19th call, we have what we call the the distributed take profit allocation, which is around here. When I tap on my trade settings, you have this part here, distributed and take profit allocation. So when you tap there, you check on the 19th call. This is it. On the 19th call, you want the boat to actually they want the market to reverse just by 1%, right? Before it can close your trade in profit for the 19th call made. So what literally that means is that I want to see at what price will the robot sell, all right? At what price? Because at the moment I am already looking at, this. Where is it? Just a minute. I already have this. All right, this is my current price. This is my current price. So I already have 20.51. In the 19th call, I had 20.74. Let me check again. Just bear with me a little. Let me check again. There's something I want to explain so that you understand. This 20.74, yes. So 20.74. Now you have this.
Walaikum salam.
Have this. Sorry, you have, this is the current price, then we have the average price created at the 19th call as that. So I want to see what would be my take profit. Okay, so from this average price, you just put 20.74 plus. Let me go on my calculator because I want to establish from my average price. If the coin decides to move up by 1%, what would be the trigger price? What would be that price at which, once it is reached, the robot is going to close that trade in profit? So I'm going to have 20.74 plus 1%. That, so it is going to trigger at 20.94. Let's check out 20.94. You see this? You see this? Take profit trigger price. Meaning once the price hits above this is the greater sign, right? There is some greater than sign here. It is like this. So meaning the robot is going to close the trade at the 19th call when the price moves from the 20. Let me just go there. Let me just go here again. I just want to have a proper understanding there. Let me come to distributor take profit. Just a minute. All right. So this is what happens. You have all right, it's here. So you have this as the current price. All right, this is the current price of the coin. And then now you have at the 19th call, you have 20.74. Remember that last time I told you that the average price becomes like your benchmarks. Okay, it becomes like your benchmark. So for example, if this is my benchmark, this is my average price, which is already 20.74, and the current price is somewhere here, 20.53, right? If this current price moves up and then, and then it levels up with the average price, that means at that point, the coin is neither at a profit nor at a loss. But should from this average price, the coin move up by 1%, which we actually determine that our 1% of the average price created on the 19th call is actually going to be this. So meaning when it moves from this average price by the 1%, which is the percentage we set for the distributed and take profit allocation at the 19th call, it means this is what we are going to get. So meaning the price has to move from this point to this and slightly above it so that the robot is able to close, the trade in profit, right? So I hope that is a little bit clear there. So that is why you see, if you check on my transaction record, the robot has been making sub sales. These are the sub sales, much as it is in the floating zone, but the robot has been making profit. You see that it has been closing. It has been closing. The only difference I made here is that I made sure that by the time the coin is already dipping and the robot is making from the 19th call onwards, I want to use as little dollars as possible, but at the same time profiting, right? So this is what I explained the other time, and I think it was more clear when I did explain it the other time. So that is briefly what I wanted to do on that, and I'm just going to take us through briefly on how you can establish the margin configuration. At what level will you have to put up which percentage, especially when it comes, in regard to the margin call drop. So let me just tap on the margin configuration. I believe with mine, I have for BTCST, you'll see how I configured mine. So there is no unique, I want to say this, there is no unique way of assigning these percentages, right? However, mine, how I do it is that I I use the trading view to establish these percentages. That is me, right? I use the trading view to establish these percentages. And I use the smallest time frame of 30 minutes. I first of all look at the broader, I look at the broader time frame of 1 day, then a week. Then I narrow it down to the 30 minutes. Then I look at from one area of conference to the next. If the coin decides to dip, by what percentage will it, move from the area of support, resistance, to the area of support? That is in case it is on a downtrend. Because remember, for a cycle trade is actually more nice when you are going down. Because when you find an reach at the bottom and the market reverses, you'll be in position to be collecting those profits, just like I told you the other time. You'll be in position to profit at every level, every margin call. So what I do is to establish the margin call drop, I use the trading view. And on the trading view, there are parameters you can simply use, or you can just simply use drawing tools. If you know how to establish the area of support and resistance, you'll be in position to determine those margin call drop. Now, I would have demonstrated it here, but I have a little challenge with my phone at the moment. If I try to share it now, if I try to share the trading, try to open up the trading view at the moment, it is going to, it is going to kick me out, right? I will get out of Zoom. So that's why I may not be in position to demonstrate now, but I'll organize a session for those who will be willing, and I take you through that and you learn. But basically what I do is, if you check, just like I told you at the time, that in a downward market, you have this kind of movement. This kind of movement, right? You have the higher low, and then the lower lows. Higher lows, and then the lower lows. Higher lows, and then the lower lows. Now, I explained how you can be in position to profit at every level. And I say that if the market is on a downtrend, let's assume this was my 5th call, right? All right. Let me make it clear. Then let's assume I already have this. Just this from the 5th call. So from the 4th call, the call has already been made. Then the market drops, right, by say 0.6. And then it reverses with the percentage you would have set at the distribution and take profit allocation. If that percentage you've set, if the coin reverses, and tries to move up. The other time I was using the language of pretending to be, regaining an upward movement. So if the movement is by that percent, let's say, for example, you had set it at 1.1 as you take profit for the subsales, in other words, at this level of the 5th call, what is going to happen is the robot is going to close. Then if it goes again down by 1%, the robot is going to make the 6th call. Should it retrace up by another percent, if all throughout you use 1.1 at the distribution and take profit allocation area, on each call, you used 1.1. If the market reverses and that reversement or that upward movement went up to 1.1, which actually coincided with what you had set there, the robot is going to close that in trade before it goes to by another 3.5, okay, where it will buy, and then once it reverses, it will sell. When it goes again down, it makes that call. When it moves up a little, it sells, like that. So because of this kind of movement, you will realize that you will have higher lows and lower lows, higher lows and then lower lows. Just a minute. Let me use this. So here would be higher lows, and then this is lower lows. Higher lows, lower lows, lower. So that is what is going to happen. Now, because of that kind of movement, you will be in position to profit at every level, at points where the market pretends to be reversing or changing direction. and trying to be, moving upwards. So what happens therefore in this point is that, at this point is that you need to only know that when you know how to set these margin call drops, all right, if you understand how this one comes about, it becomes even more, more better, because it will allow you to set this distributed and take profit percentages accordingly. And what I told you the other time as a recap also was that most of this coin, once it is now dipping, let's say the robot has already bought about 10 times and it is now dipping down, the rate at which they dip is so high. It moves by a very big percentage within the shortest time possible, within a very short time. And therefore, the reverse, that reverse it tries to make may not go to 1.5, may not go to 1.8, may not go to 1 point, sometimes even 1.4, it may not reach. But most of the times it will dwell around 1 to 1.1 or 1.2. That is if it is completely now dipping, it is in that lower area, that lower zone. Like for example, this, if you check on mine, on my distributed and take profit allocation, how I set mine, you realize that I adjusted it in such a way that I am able to take care of, those slight reversal. I'm able, if you check on those down now, you see, in this area, you see this from here downwards. You realize that I've reduced the percentages. Why? Because I know as it is going down, the reverse is always very slight before it goes again in a very big margin. Then the reverse is slight, and then so you find that the distance here is too much compared to the distance here. You see that? But I want to make sure that I don't miss a point. I don't miss a position without closing it in trade. In profit. That's why I make sure I reduce this. But I also said, if a position has already been passed, let's assume you already have this. Let's assume you already have, you see like mine here, from this area, what has happened? Because I know the robot has already bought all the way to the 19th call. I know when the market reverses, these percentages here will be easily taken care of, easily, because the coin would be pumping. So 2% will be something minimal. In fact, it will mean nothing. It will easily hit the 2%, easily 2%. So meaning that from every position within this area, I'll be closing at 2 or 2.5. And even the last position, which is in the fifth call, I've increased it to 3. Meaning that final session where the subsale is going to be made, I'm going to collect 3% of the amount that the robot used when it was making the fifth call, before I can finally come to the fourth call, third call, second call, first call, which are going to be combined as a single unit and then sold at this other percentage here. Percentage here, 30%. That is my settings, my friends. So don't get surprised that, hey, why is yours 30%? I know why, right? I know why, because I know this. I want to collect big. I want very, 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 very big profit when the robot is finally making that last sell. Because remember, within the first 4, just like I shared, that within the first 4, ensure that the robot takes in enough, right? And then also within the first 4 margin calls, ensure that once you change your strategy mode to sub-in mode real-time settlement, come and play around with this. Because you keep this percentage a little bigger. Don't keep it at 1.1. Don't keep it at 1.2. Why? Because you're looking at that last final round when you're hitting the last nail on the coffin. You want to chew big, yeah. And why I've said this, it depends on the coin you're also setting. If you realize and understand a particular coin very well and you love it and you trade it and you know how it pumps when it decides to do so, hey, you can play around with that because you're very sure this one will be hit. In fact, it can go beyond even this. Just let's assume an example. We have already BTCST, which has gone down by negative. It is already around the negative 39. But then the coin pumps completely, moving from negative 39 up to 0, then moves up by 30%. What is the total percentage? That is about 70% roughly. But you know BTC very well. For those who have traded it, like the last pump it just made, it went up to 230%. Now, what will my 30% be compared to the 230% it pumped the last time it did? So that would be, it just requires patience, because when you're doing this and you realize that you're going to want to collect much in terms of the percentage from that last sell when the coin is pumping, don't expect it to happen in a day. Sometimes it will, sometimes it may take you some days, as long as you're patient, because it will move up, all right, and even pretend to be coming down again. And if you're not patient, I mean, you're going to sell. You're going to manually sell, or you will reduce this percentage and it sells. But if you're patient, when it gains momentum here, just know it is going to pass this level. Then it will pretend again that it is coming down. If you're patient enough, poof, the next momentum it will gain to go past this level, and you get that. But also, you don't have to be very greedy. Don't create a percentage that the robot may not, that the pump may not reach, because I don't expect you to put. Well, sometimes if we are in the bull season, it is easy to hit 100% because coins can pump up to about 300%. But at this level, within this period, you don't have to put much here. But me, I can put 30 because I understand the coin I'm trading, right? I have followed it. I've traded it severally. And I've made over $400 with just, with just $500, right? So it just depends on how you understand a particular coin very well, right? So that is briefly the area I wanted to emphasize. I hope it's pretty understood, right? I hope that part is pretty understood. I'm just going to open up for a little bit of question. Then maybe I will answer or attend to those questions so that we may be on the same page. I'm just trying to go through this as a recap because I believe in us understanding the bot well, other than just entering trades, or because somebody has told you the robot works 24/7, which is very true. But when something happens and it is not going to your expectation, then you begin losing hope or you begin complaining. No, you don't have to complain when you're using the robot because it has already been designed to do that work. You don't have to complain about it. You don't have to complain with it. All you need to do is you need to be open and willing to learn, right? Yeah, you just need to be open to learning, and then you'll be good to go, right? So all right. Explain how I can set my Martingale strategy. This is Jeremy. All right. Now what you need to also realize, or what you need to know, is this: the Martingale strategy actually is the strategy that the default settings of the robot comes with. Let me just go back there and try to. The Martingale strategy, I don't know if there is any coin not yet traded. Let me just check through. The coin that I've not traded so far. Well, come to this. All right. Let me explain the Martingale strategy using this. I think I've never traded this on one shot. Which coin is this? That is compound. I've never traded it on cycle. So if you come to the trade settings of compound, what the settings that are embedded within this coin are the default settings, right? What we would refer to as the industrial settings, how it came with the robot, right? So you have the first buy-in amount being 15. So according to the default setting, if you are free to go by these settings, you are going to go for 15 as the first buy-in amount, and then 7 margin calls, meaning you want the robot to buy 7 times, right? And every time it is buying, it is picking $15 from your USDT pool. Okay. And the percentage you want it to close trade at, all right, when it makes that final sell is 1.3. But then at whatever level the robot will be closing trades in profit, you want it to first call back by 0.3, right? You want it to go by 1.3 and then first, calls back or reverses by 0.3 or pretends to be going down by 0.3, right? Before it can close. So meaning the actual profit, the actual percentage of profit you'll be taking when the robot is making sell is that it will be only 1%. Why? Because of the effect of this. I explained the effect of this the other time. Why? Most of the times it is important for you to keep this at 0. I did explain that, and I said normally it is important or recommended. That is my recommendation to my team. Anyone on the call may decide to do otherwise, huh? But that is my own recommendation, and that's how I set mine. I always keep this as 0. So it is not an advice, right? But it's my own recommendation to my team, and that's what I do. When I keep this at 0, I will know that I will not need any callback. Why? Because most of the time, especially if the coin is pumping, sometimes it fails to call back at 0.3, right? It does not. Sometimes it may call back a little by 0.1, and because for you, your instruction is 0.3, you won't achieve it. The robot won't sell yet, right? It will be waiting for this command, a drop. It has moved by 1.3, right? It has already moved up, right? From here to this point by 1.3, but it has not called back. Maybe instead further increased again, maybe to even 2%, but there's no callback. So what happens is it will wait for this callback to happen before it can sell, right? But if you have this at 0, once it moves up by 1.3, no wasting time. Poof, the robot closes that in trade. Closes the trade in profit. So there's no problem there. And of course, your profit won't be affected because there will be no any reduction on the percentage you set. And I also said the same thing happens here. If you're on cycle trade, you need to make sure that also the sub position take profit callback, you keep it at 0. Why? Because normally it affects the percentage you set in this region from the 5th call to the infinity calls. It doesn't matter how many calls you're going to make, but as long as it's from the 5th call, remember you're supposed to set a percentage at which you want the robot to be closing trade whenever it makes a call, and then the market reverses at that position. You want it to, to close your trades in profit. So you're supposed to allocate a percentage for it. At what percent do you want the robot to close that trade in profit if the market reverses when it has just made the 5th call? Or at what percentage would you want if the robot, if the market reverses when the robot has made the what? The 6th call. The same applies to the 7th call. So these are percentages you can set. You can even decide to adjust this, and each call has its own percentage. It is okay, right? It is very okay. You can keep this the way it is, or you can adjust it to any amount. You can decide to keep this at 1.3, and even probably increase this to either 1.1 or even 1.5, right? This one you can even decide to say, I want it to sell when it has moved up by 2%. So you can play around with this, but as I told you, that the more the coin is going in the deep, chances are that the percentage here that you're going to set, in this region, the percentages you're going to set in this region, if you had set a very big percentage, you may miss out. This percentage is here. If you set a bigger one, as the coin is dipping, then you keep on increasing these percentages. You may fail to get those sub sales because it may rise up and may not hit your percentage. If it is, for example, 2%, it may not rise by 2%. It may only rise a little by 1.2, and it goes down again. So you have to make sure that you adjust this. Let them be. Let's say the robot has already made the 6th call. Probably you can maintain the same percentage, or you make the percentage for the 7th call smaller than this other one. Why? Because the reversal that was made at the 6th call, right, for that percentage to be closed may not be the same as this. This may be even slightly low. and same applies to the next. So just make sure you either maintain the percentage or you reduce the percentage. But once that level has already been passed, let's say, for example, you already bought the 6th call and it goes to the 7th call, you can come back and adjust this. You can increase now this one here a little, or you can still maintain it, right? But the more it has passed, the better. Let's say it was we were having this we had a margin call limit of, let's say, 15%. I mean 15, not percent, but 15. Let's assume we had here. We set this, we adjusted it to say 15%, right? What is going to happen is this. If we come back to the distributed take profit percentages, we realize that from the 7th call all the way, the figure was maintained, the percentages were maintained. Now, what you would do is, if let's assume the robot has already made calls up to this level, it already bought up to the 10th position, what is going to happen is this. You can come back and adjust this other earlier figure, earlier calls to slightly a higher figure, right? But this other one, which hasn't been made yet, you can either maintain them or even reduce them. Because as I already told you, the reversal in this area may not be the same as the reversal in this area. These reversals here may be slightly lower because, remember, the drop may be huge, but the reversal may be small. The drop may be huge, the reversal may be small. So you just need to make sure you are still closing, the robot is still closing for you, trades in profit at whatever level the market is dipping, right? So that's why I was saying that you need to make sure you play around with those parameters. Now, so with the default settings, what happens is this. You can decide to reduce on the first buying amount. This. You can decide to say, depending on the position you enter the market, depending on where you enter the market or the market session, you are supposed to make sure that at least your first 4 calls, this one's here, your first 4 calls should gather some money, should gather some good money, because it is within this area that you're going to have huge profits actually when the robot is making that final sale. Just assume that within this, your first buying amount was $100, right? Now, when the market dropped, let's say the robot entered the market with $100, right? That was the entry amount. Now you maintain the entry amount, and then the market drops, the value of the coin drops by 3.5%, right? 3.5%. What is going to happen is this. When the robot is making that buy, it's going to multiply the 100 by 2. So meaning at this first call, you already have $200. Here, you already have $400. Here, you already have $800, right? And then here, you already have $1,600. Sorry, $1,600. So when you add up this, plus the 800, plus 400, plus this, you already have, this is 240, 28, hey, this is 1,000, this one is already 1,200, 1,400. So you have 2,400 plus the initial or the entry amount that that amount the robot entered within the market, which is 100. So you already have 2,500. Now, should the market reverse from this position area, for only here after the robot making the 4th call, the market reverses, what is going to happen? Once it moves up, and once it moves up, the robot is now going to combine all that amount, the 2,500, and it will close at this profit. Sorry, it will close at 1.3. So you have 1.3% of 2,500, right? Now, this is where the magic is. Here, you can make a lot of money, right? That's why I was telling you earlier on that if you understand your coin well, you will want some serious percentage here also, right? But not a percentage that keeps you, makes you become very greedy. No, you just put a percentage that at least by the time the robot is closing the trade, at least it is something reasonable. Especially if you're doing a cycle trade and you understand that the coin pumps. Yeah, that final wrap up after maybe perhaps waiting for that big profit for some time, for a long time, I would call it. Yeah, you have to benefit. Let it cover up the period you were enjoying those small sub-sales. Yeah, so that is that. But from the fifth call, you can still maintain some figure, but from seventh call onward, try to adjust the amount used at every level, because now you are just ensuring that the robot continues to buy and sell while you wait for the market reverse, right? So that you are able at least to be profiting at whatever level the robot is buying. But as you wait for the big fish, the big sell, which will happen finally when the fourth call has been reached, where they will combine the first, third, second, and first, and then sold at this percentage, and it will be in profit. Yeah. So the Martingale strategy works like this. When you check this, you see this is the default settings, and that is what the robot uses. So if you have enough dollars, enough capital, you can use the Martingale strategy. You may not need to adjust this. I only sampled. You saw this. This is 200. Just fourth call alone, from just by the robot buying 4 times only. The robot entered the market and just bought 4 times. You already have 2,500 on the coin. You see that? Now the Martingale strategy works in this way: that you want a figure. Okay, it works on the multiple of 2. Yeah, the multiples of 2. You want to, because why it is working on the multiples of 2 is that it wants to create an average price which is closer. If the robot buys at this level, okay, let's say this was the price. The price, let me just explain this. If this is the current price of the or at the fourth call, when the market drops by 3 points, when the value of the coin drops by 3.5, the robot is going to buy at that price, at this price, right? But then an average price is going to be created in between here, closer to the current price. Now, when the market again, sorry, what is this? So I was still explaining something. If the robot buys at this level, right? Let me just establish that this is now the new average, the average price created when the robot made the fourth call. If the value drops, if the value of the coin you're trading drops by 3.5, the robot is going to buy, right? At that price, at the price that was described by the 3.5 drop, 3.5% drop. Now, what is going to happen, therefore? An average price will be created midway here, between this area, the previous average price, and between the previous current price and the new current price. So an average price will be here. This price here, the average price has been created. Therefore, it is closer to the current price of the market. The current price of the coin in the market at that time. So meaning from this point, if the current price of the coin reverses and goes past this average price, in this area, you'll be in floating profit. But if it is still below this area, you'll be in floating loss. Now, a floating loss is not a loss, but that period of patience that you have to execute when the value of the coin hasn't reversed. It is still on the down, or it is still down below the average price, right? Now, if again the robot makes the second call, remember this was, I'm just giving an example. This is the first average price. Okay, this was the previous current price. Now the price again drops to this level, right? A new average price is going to be created again to move away from here and come midway here, around here. Now, this average price is near this price of the coin in the market at that time, that current price. It is near compared to when it was there. Why? Because now the average price has been brought there, and it has been brought closer to this level. At this level, therefore, it means if the price decides to move up or the market reverses slightly and then goes above the average price, you're already in profit, right? Now, if again the market dips further, by 4.5, a new average price is going to again be created. midway here. Now, this price, this is now average price 3. This is average price 2. Now you realize that if the market, if the market reverses at this point, the third call is going to be close. I'm giving you reference, not that the third call will be treated independently. I'm just making with reference to this area here from the 5th call onwards. Well, let's assume this is my 5th call. This is my 6th call, and then this is my 7th call, and then this is my 8th call. Let me just explain like that so that people don't get confused. People are not confused. So therefore, what happens if the robot made the 5th call? It makes the 5th call, sorry. Let's say that was the 5th call, and then the robot makes the 6th here. This is the area of the 6th call. A new average price is going to be created here. When it makes the 7th call, a new average price will be created. When it makes the 8th call, a new average price is going to be created. That's why you are able to profit at, even when the market is dipping, because the current price by the robot buying, it establishes an average price where the value can easily go above so that you're in profit. You get that? Current price and average price where the value can easily go above it and you're in profit. You get that? So that is briefly why it is good to buy the dip. So what is going to happen is this. If you have a multiple of 2, what you will be doing is this. If from this position here, this is the current price. If you have a multiple of 2, like 4, for example, the robot has bought 4 times. Instead of creating an average price that is midway, the previous price and the current price, you will actually have a current price closer again around here than it would have been there. I don't know whether you understand that. Let me repeat. Let's assume you have this area. The market drops. Let me just use this area because I think it is confused. Let me begin from the 5th call. All right. So let's assume we have that area. Okay. We have this area. The market drops by 8%. This. And then, this figure is too big again, but I hope people will understand anyway. Let me just reduce it to a figure that we can easily understand. Let me put that at 2. Then the next one maybe at 4 to just explain the Martingale strategy. Have 4, and we have 8. All right. So I told you that the Martingale strategy works on the multiple of 2. So what is going to happen is this. All right. So I have the 5th call from the 5th call. So I have this area. All right. The market drops by 8%, right? An average price is going to be created midway. It will half the previous area and the current area, or the previous price and the current price. So it is going to be midway. Now, if this other 6th call had the number of times like 2, okay, still, if the market dropped to 10%, it was going to be created midway between this price and this price. But because you told the robot to multiply it 2 times the previous times it bought, what is going to happen is this. Instead of the average price being created around this area, the average price now is going to come more closer here to where the current price is. So meaning here, you're actually giving avenue, okay, indirectly would have allowed for manipulation of the market. You're trying so much to make sure that it doesn't take you so long before you can close in profit if the market decides to slightly reverse. Because if now the average price is already here, very much closer to the current price than it would have been if the number of times here was the same as the number of times in the previous call, what is going to do? You're creating a scenario where, the robot should be in position to close quickly, because the average price is very near to the current price at which the coin was bought at that level. You get that? At that sub position. You get that? So the same applies to this. If you have this, if the market drops by 12%, right? It drops by 12%. If this figure was 4, right? An average price was going to be created midway, just in between. But because it is 2 times the previous level, the previous number of times, now this average price is going to be around here, more closer to the current price, right? So this distance here, if you compare with this distance here, this area here, you find that this distance is more small compared to this distance here. So that is what briefly the Martingale strategy is all about. It is trying to create an average price which is closer to the price at which the robot has bought, okay, the coin at that level, so that any slight shift, you are already in profit, other than waiting for that long distance of almost half, the previous price before it can sell. I don't know whether it made sense, but I trust sense. If it hasn't, you can check on me personally and I see how I can simplify for you.
Videos abantu.
How do you know the call that has been sold? Hey, you normally, all right, on the subcell, you can know. The record is always there. If you want to check on the records of the solds, you can always check on it here. Depending on the coin you're trading, you can always check. Like I can come to BTC, then here, this area here is how you this area, the transaction record area. This one here. This is the transaction record area. If you tap on it, you're able to see. Sorry. You're able to see. This was the subcell. See that? This was the 20th. Oh, sorry. I want to show you something. All right. Let me just, okay. So you tap on the coin if you want to know that it has sold. But of course, there's already the word subsell, but you don't know which call or which sub level was sold, right? So what you only need to do is you just tap on this arrow, this area here, right? When you tap on it, it will display the other hidden information, right? You see this? It's another information that were hidden. So it will be important to know. Like for example, the number of margin call was 20. Okay, that was the 20th call that was sold, right? Right, and the deal amount was this. This was the USDT that was used on it. This was the quantity of the BTCST bought using this amount, right? And then these are the details. Just you see the order number, the date, and the time that was done. Yeah, so this is where you see those details. Okay, this is where you see. So it is the 20th position. If we tap on this, this was the 21st position. See this? This is the 21st position that was sold. Right? The deal amount was that. It was $10 or 10 USDT was used. Okay, so you're able to see. You don't have to struggle much. You can tell. You don't have the details. Okay. How can we change one shot to cycle and set the margin call? Now, when you cannot just change a one shot to a cycle, but what you need to make sure, what you need to know, before you can make any change is, let me just open this and explain. Before you make any change of the strategy mode, what you need to know is this. You need to make sure that the number of call margin made, first of all, is 4 below. If the number of if the number of calls made so far, or if the number of times the robot has already bought, which is always indicated in this region, is more than 4, just know you will not be in position to change your strategy mode to any other. You will use the one which is already, which you were using before. So if you were using wall warehouse, the moment the number of calls made or the number of times the robot has already bought in the market exceeds 4, let's say from 5 onwards, just know you won't be in position to now change. You now have to be patient and wait for the market to reverse before, because wall position means selling everything all as a single unit. It is selling all, right? Wall warehouse, selling everything in your warehouse, all everything together. So, but you can change this as well, provided the number of call margin made is from 4 downwards. Let's say it can be 3, 2, 1, provided, or even 0. You can change the strategy mode to the sub-bin mode. Now, maybe let me explain that further. With the strategy mode, this area of the strategy mode, if you tap on it, you realize that there are 3 strategy modes. There's the wall warehouse, sub-bin mode, and sub-bin mode real-time settlement. Now, this one here is more or less similar to this. I think I explained this the other time also. With this, what happens is that you will only be in position to view your revenue details when everything has been sold, when everything has been cleared from your stock, from your I would call it now in a simple term, warehouse in your shop. When you sell everything, that's when now you see the reflection of the revenue. But with this one here, you see it instantly. Even if it is 0.0003 or 0.001, as long as there's a profit. Once the robot closes that trade in profit, it will be reflected instantly. You don't have to wait for everything to be sold. That is under sub-bin mode real-time settlement. So this normally applies for you who may want to permit for sub-sales, okay? And which is, of course, a psycho trader. And if you're a psycho trader, then ensure that your strategy is on either this or this, but I recommend the last one. Why? Because now some people are impatient. You cannot wait forever before everything is sold and then your revenue is reflected. People prefer seeing even if it is 0.01, provided it is there, it is something that can excite you. So keep it on this so that you're able to see your revenue there and then once it is formed, right? All right. Is there any other thing? About to end call, hopefully. I'm already in floating loss on my BTCST, negative 48. Had not set margin calls, only one. I'm in position to reset now, new calls, and get out of this with my small USDT balance. All right, I think probably what you're meaning is if you hadn't set your if you hadn't set the margin call, I don't know the kind of I don't know how many times the bot has already how many times the bot made buys, but if it is less than 4, you can still change it to cycle. You go and increase the margin call, and then you adjust on the margin configuration. Just adjust the margin call drop percentages, and then the number of times. You can reduce the number of times to. You can reduce the number of times to 0. Depending on how economical you want to be. If you want to be very economical, you just go and reduce the margin configuration. If you want to be very economical, yeah, you can see how you can adjust the margin configuration. See like mine here, and it's 0.5. Meaning every other time I want the bot to buy, if it picks my USDT, it has to multiply it by 0.5. So meaning each of those margin, each of those calls the robot will be making should have to be multiplying by 0.5. So just go and play around with this multiple buying ratio, and then this. Just determine how deep you want the robot to continue buying for as long as the value of the coin is dipping. How much percentage do you want from where you are now? All right. So first determine how many times you want it to buy. Then now play around with these percentages. Okay. See how deep you want it to buy. By what percentage from where it is now? Is it by 10? Is it by 5? Then you come and adjust, here. You just adjust it here and play around that within, if it only bought once, and maybe you want it to buy more 7 times, meaning now you have to determine what percentage. If it is already at negative 48, you probably want to add maybe another negative 10. So that is 58. So it means you have already 10% that you have to play around with when you're determining what? The margin call drop. You can decide to say from the second call, if it had already made the first call, you can keep it at 1, maybe second is 2, or still 1, 3, 1, 4, 1. Then now, from there, so 1, 1, 1, that's up to the 4th. Then from the 5th, you can decide to keep it 1.5, 1.5, then 2, 2, until you see that the percentage that you're anticipating, that you want, in fact, the 10% you want, is already distributed within the number of calls you've determined, right? Then there you will be okay. And then you also have to determine the number of times at every level that the robot will be buying. All right. So I think, somebody was asking what is the difference between sell and sub-sell. Sales is this. Let me give you an example. Sales happen when the robot clears out everything that was on that coin. If it clears out, if it gives you a percentage of, let's assume like MARSR, give a simple example on BTCST. Let me just explain that. If a subcell is made, okay, a subcell are those cells that are made from the 5th position downward to infinity position when the market reverses or moves by the percentage created in the distributed take profit area here. Every cell that is made, I think I did explain this. Cells will be made, subcells are made within this region from the 5th call or the 5th sub position to infinity sub position. Meaning in the market, if the robot buys, makes a call or buys at the 7th level or makes a call at the 7th level, what will happen if the market moves up by 2.5%? It is going to sell. Now, when it sells, it's going to sell 2.5% of the amount that was used at that level. So what will be reflected there will be a sub-sell. It applies from the 5th call onwards. But sell happen when the robot finally clears out everything that was in stock. Okay? That is when it combines the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st call and the initial entry price in case it made a buy up to the 4th call. However, there are some scenarios where you may enter the market. Let's say you entered the market with $100, right? Especially for one-shot traders. One-shot traders enters the market with the hope that the market will just quickly move up. So if you enter at this point, let's say your take profit was 2.5, okay? And indeed the market moves up by 2.5, the robot is going to sell. So if to sell of this amount, so it will sell 2.5% of $100, which will be $2.5, right? So that is what you call a sell. The robot has cleared out everything that was in stock. But a subsell means it is making some small cells without before everything is cleared out from stock, right? There are those small cells it makes, and it always happens from the 5th call to infinity call. But sales happen when the robot is making that final sell, which can happen in 2 ways. Either when the robot just entered the market to use the first buying amount as an entry amount, enters the market, and then the market doesn't waste time. it doesn't even go, it fails to go, I mean, it does not even go down, but instead moves up by the percentage, by the intended percentage the person would have said. If that percentage is hit, the robot is going to sell. That's what we call a sell. Or literally, the market went down. From this point, the market went down and the robot made up to the fourth call. And then it is reversed. So when the robot is going to combine the fourth call, the third call, second and first call, plus the entry price, together, it will sell at the percentage you have set. So that will still be called a sell. I hope it is clear. I hope it is understood, my friend. All right, I think I'm going to be ending this soon. All right. The 30% take profit you have, was it the initial one or you change it after it has bought fifth call? Thank you. These percentages are things you can play around, my friend. You don't miss. I changed mine. In fact, I changed it recently because I am seeing already the coin is not dipping any further. It is now just playing around within, 40%. That is from my entry point. When I entered, the market has already dipped by over 40%, but it is not going any further. It is not even dipping further. It is just playing around there. 40%, 41, it comes to around 38. 41. So based on my own analysis, when I did my own analysis and looked at the chart, based on the areas of conference, the support on whatever level, I realized that it is going within a range. It is in the range market at the moment. It is not going up, it is not dipping, but it is in that range movement. So meaning, to me, I see that it is still within the area of indecision. Probably, anytime this resistance will be subsided. It is still trying to gain momentum, right? It is still moving within, sorry. What is this? Oh, sorry. So it is still within this area of support. It is still moving up. It wants to go beyond this area of this resistance, but the resistance is still too much. It comes down, it is hit back. It moves up, but the pressure is not yet there. But it is in its process of moving up and down. It is trying to look for areas of gaining momentum. All right, and two things can happen. It can gain momentum depending on how it has been hit by the resistance to either go down further, or it may gain momentum. Right? All right. Sorry. It may gain momentum. Right. It is moving up and down within the areas of conference. So in this movement, it is trying to, there is a pressure on either side from the buyers and the sellers. The buyers want the market to move up, to go past the resistance. The sellers wants the market to go down past the support. So what is happening there? It's attempt to moving within the range. It is gaining momentum. Depending on which force will come at play and win the market will either break through the resistance and moves up and pumps, right? Or it will break the support and moves further down. So it is in between that area. But to me, it is within there. I've increased the percentage because I'm seeing it is still playing within there. And to me, likely, I'm seeing the buyers taking control soon. That is my own analysis. You may have your very own. But that's my own analysis from the market, from the price chart, because I do a little bit of price action. So generally, that is what is happening. And of course, we see, the market is looking promising. It's looking really promising. Yeah. So I think I answered. I'm just going to answer two more questions and then I call it a day. If there's any still. Elaborate on position amount and quantity. Position amount refers to the amount of USDT used. If you're using USDT as your best currency to trade other cryptocurrency, if you're using USDT as your best crypto to trade other cryptos, or you're using it as your best coin to trade other coin, Position amount refers to the amount of USDT that has been used on that coin, right? Is the amount of USDT that has already been used on that coin or that is already on. Wait. Let me adjust this. Okay, so it is the amount of this is it. This is what we mean. Position amount refers to the amount of dollars or USDT which have already been used on that coin by the robot. Position quantity refers to the quantity of that coin that was bought using the position amount. I think it is clear. Last question. Maybe I give a chance to. Let me give a chance to one question from the audio perspective, if at all there is any. All right, I think there's none. I think we may have to end this. We have to end this for today. Does the preset price determine the buy-in price? What do you mean? Does the preset price determine the buy-in price? No, I hope I got your question right. The preset price is like sorry. All right, the preset price is actually, let me explain in a literal term. If you're buying, let's say, beans from the market, you realize that you know from your own analysis that the price of beans are still going to drop. Let's say if it was at 1,000, let me use dollars instead of Uganda shilling. If it was at $1, right, and in the market currently, but from your own analysis, you're seeing there's a lot of people have grown a lot of beans, meaning people are going to sell a lot of beans in the market, so the supply will increase. Definitely, there's a likelihood that the price will drop. So if you are that person who know that from your own analysis that the price is going to drop down below the $1, probably to $0.5, what you're going to do is you're going to set your price at which you're going to buy your beans for stocking at $0.5, right? So not until the price drops to $0.5, you're not going to buy, right? You're not going to buy. You're going to be very patient and wait. So, but when the price drops to $0.5 from $1, that's when you'll enter the market and begin buying massively. So with respect to the preset price, it is that price which you actually preset or you give the robot or you set onto your robot, right, for the robot to finally or officially enter the market. You get that? To begin trading that particular coin. So it is that price that the robot will wait for the value of the coin to drop at before it can pick the trade or before it can enter the market.
All right, Coach Musa, are you still on the call, sir? I don't know whether it's my network, but I basically cannot hear you. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. If you are able to learn something from Coach Musa's session 1 or 2, I usually say that success is a road trip. It's a road trip. It's a road trip. For you to become successful, it's a road trip that you travel. Although so many people, once they get started in the business, they want to be like successful tomorrow morning. All right. So really, if you learned something, let us drop in some thumbs up, some love hearts. All right. Some thumbs up, some love hearts, some thumbs up, some love hearts for Coach Musa this morning. All right. He was able to share with us some incredible knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I know so many people. Wow. Happy to see you, Mark, again. I wish you a fruitful election for my friends from that side of Kenya. That will be tomorrow. I wish you all the best. Okay. I wish you all the best, especially my brothers and sisters staying in Nairobi, which is one of the critical areas that side of Kenya. All right. So I want to thank you all for attending today's call. I basically have nothing to say for today. Not that I don't have the information or the knowledge to share, but I believe today we have enough for ourselves. All right. I want to just break something short. Throughout our groups, all right, let me share my screen. Throughout our groups today, we have so many people that I personally know that are dropping up signals. All right. Now there is a group called Royal Q Billionaires. This one, okay, it has 512 people. All you guys who are here and you're maybe on this Zoom call, I just beg you to be active on that group. I'm going to be clearing it down sparingly without sparing anyone. So if you are there and maybe you are not taking this serious, especially on this group, please do, because I'm going to be clearing it up today. All right, that's basically. Now let's go into the simple things that are very important that Coach Musa talked about. Those that are talking about trading view, picking up coins, setting up, it's not for today. I think you joined the Thursday call. Yeah, the Thursday call. That's when maybe I'll go an extra mile into this. Or you can watch our videos. I see the market is sweet and nice. I see the market is sweet and nice. And I see the market is sweet and nice. So I hope you are taking advantage of the market. That's very, very important. I hope you are taking advantage of the market to make sure that you are collecting some profit, because most of the trades are onto an uptrend and they can deliver basically. They can basically deliver. So I hope you are taking advantage of the market this morning today. And we look at the future. Okay, we can look at maybe one dominant of the market, which is BTC USDT, and see if we shall be able to have some great wins. All right, so if you look at it, basically, if we draw, this is in 1 day, right? So if we draw our trade lines and be able to look at, we touch the higher high, draw a line touching no, it's not a good touch. So I'll pick it up again, delete this. All right, so if we touch this is within the 1 day time frame. We touch the week and then draw a straight line. Those that have been attending our session, this is not it's not something that you are learning for the very, very first time. So touch the top of the wicks, maybe to keep it short, draw a line straight, keep it there. This is in the 1 day time frame. All right, so if this candle, then that next candle. So it means when the market goes below this line, then we shall be changing direction of the market to a bearish state. So we are still moving okay. If we change and draw the line again we draw the line again in the right now, right? Just increase it up a little bit. Already now this is in the bull run, ladies and gentlemen. It means if we want to see that this market will get down, we shall be drawing a trade line from the lower lows, which are here, this one, the lower low, keep on touching. And if the market gets below this line in an uptrend, then we shall be sure that this market will now turn bearish, because if it gets below this line, if a candle forms below this line, then we'll be assured that the market will be going down. But basically, as we speak right now, ladies and gentlemen, we can basically see that the market is still having an upward movement. Even from the Bitcoin itself, it has been able to break through these lines, all right, these lines, and we see the future. So if we go to the lower time frame of the dominance of the market, which is BTC, all right, how it's dominating the market, I'll basically be able to lead this. Those that have been following our trainings, this is not magic for you. That if we draw a line down here, we see the market is still in an upward movement of the market. We are still in an upward trend, ladies and gentlemen. And those that have been attending our trainings, you know very well those that have been attending our trainings, if you are able to see what is happening here using the volume spread indicator, you see very well that there is huge volume in the market, with our red bar representing high volume, our green yellow bars representing, this is very high volume, this is high volume. And we can basically see this is portraying up here, ladies and gentlemen, showing us there is high volume in the market. Those that have also been attending our trainings last week, and those that have watched our videos, you get it right that if 100 is here and 0 is on top, we are in an upward an upward trend. And that's why most of the prices, the coins that you'll be picking today, if you look at coins like Sun, if you're using the 1 hour time frame, you basically see, ladies and gentlemen, that Sun is already on the 0 line above. It means we are still in an upward trend. And if BTC is still dominating as it is, you enter from the current price, use the auto FBI retracement lines. You use the auto FBI retracement lines. Those have been attending our trainings. This is not I'm not speaking Latin. I'm speaking normal language. If you're using the auto retracement lines, you understand very well, we use these lines as support and resistance. So your patience is important, but because if you want to enter at the current price of the coin, you look at the current candle, right? Current candle, ladies and gentlemen, you look at the current candle, those that are trading the one shot, you look at the current candle, fast a little bit, the messages are too many. The current candle, wait for it to close. It has closed above the 0 line. Wait for the second candle to test the line, then be sure, ladies and gentlemen, that this market will close to the next line, which will be your resistance. And that's how you take off your profit. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, high equity equals to less stay in the market. High equity equals to less stay in the market. Let me say, if you have $1,000, I want to repeat my statement. If your amount that your equity you have invested is $1,000 in a trade, ladies and gentlemen, always take 2 to 3% and get out of the market. If you're using $10,000, like my sister from Nigeria, she knows herself, usually she runs in so much, she's using close to, I think if I'm not mistaken, $15,000. So she makes her first buying amount $10,000. And I want to advise you, my sister, make sure that you don't stay long in the market. 2%, 3% is enough for you. That's close to $200, $300 in a one short trade. So make sure once you pick your trade, make sure you take 2 to 3%, get out of the market. High equity equals to lower stay in the market. Low equity equals to high stay in the market. If you have little capital, you always stay longer in the market. If you invest in much more money, always stay less in the market. Right? Those that are starting the week with enjoying trades like one shot, because everywhere I open, I see we are in an upward trend. Ladies and gentlemen. I see 100 is down and 0 is on the top. If you're using the 1 hour time frame to trade, don't forget the rules of the game. This is 13 minutes. We wait for this candle to close. If it closes above this line and the new candle retests the line, enter the market, then be able to close with your next line. Get out of that trade, pick another trade. It should be the sequence of your trading. Using these lines, these auto FBI retracement lines, ladies and gentlemen, as support and resistance lines, right? As support and resistance lines, especially now when 100 is down and 0 is on top and we are in an upward trend, right? All the trades I check. I'm not very good at dropping signals for you, but I love giving the knowledge so that you personally take the action. All of you, you see that in all our trades, 100 is down and 0 is on top in the 1 hour time frame, meaning if I'm going to trade Hedera here, this one, I'll wait for this candle. If it closes above this line and the next candle tests the line, I'll enter the trade and close my trade to the next line. If I'm so confident, I'll go up to this line. Those that have not just joined, if you are new and you have just joined, I'll request your upline, or I'm going to show you where you go personally, take charge of your business, right? Take charge of your business. I tell my leaders that nobody told me what I do. I took charge. Take charge, because making money is a personal decision. Don't allow anybody. So you take little profit. Okay, if it's giving you 1.3, if your equity is $10,000, stay shorter in the market. If your equity is $500, stay short in the market. Stop being greedy. Now, those that are using the volume indicator, you find that it's already, this one is showing 200. This is high volume. There is high volume in this particular trade right now. It means there is high volume. There is effort that's being done. So most of the trades are basically doing well. I expect you to maximize. If you look at trades like Matic, they're going in for $1. All right, there is high volume in the market. Those that understand what I'm talking about, I'm not speaking Latin or a local language in my area. The red bar is ultra volume. The yellow bar is high volume. There is high volume. So if you want to enter this trade, you wait for this candle 11 minutes to close. If it closes above this line, ladies and gentlemen, then the next candle tests the line, then you have a sure deal it will go up to that line. So that's why you take your take profit. All right, you put in your take profit. So you come here, it has tested this line, then pick up from there, then join the next trade. You take your 2%. If you're using the equity of $10,000, you may take around 1.5. Low capital equals longer stay in the market. All right, short, big capital equals short stay in the market. It's very, very important as you trade. If you are trading with the $1,500 and above, stop staying longer in the market. I want to emphasize, stop wanting to stay longer in the market. Ladies and gentlemen, little capital equals long stay in the market. Big capital equals short stay in the market. If you're already trading with good capital, I'm talking about $500 and above in a one shot, stay shorter in the market. Stay shorter in the market. If you are trading with little capital, 100, 50, 10, 30, even if you take 10 years in the market, no problem. You have $20, you're trading with $20, please, no problem. For you, you can stay even when you can stay. You are using $10, $5, please, $10, don't get annoyed. For you can stay as long as you can in the market. You know, you can stay. You set your 10%. You have your $10 using to trade. Don't worry, stay longer in the market. Stay longer in the market, all right? Stay longer in the market. But if you have good capital, $1,500, you are entering the market. Stay short in the market. Stop trading according to other people's excitement. Stop it, please, all right? Let me look at, someone's telling me look at BTCST, all right? It's a good coin to trade, I know. Now, don't get excited. It's important. Now, look at this trade, all right? I think I can stay here. Those trading this coin, there is promise. This is high volume. Those that have been attending a training, I'm not speaking heaven. I'm speaking, all right, look, wait for this candle to close. If it closes above this line, the next candle tests above the line, enter the trade. Take your 1%, 2%, 3%, get out of the trade, come again. 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 Am I speaking to someone on the call trading with $500, $1,000 plus into trade? If you understand what I'm saying, give me some thumbs up. If you are trading with good capital and you understand what I'm talking about, stop staying longer in trades. I get annoyed when people come to me with huge floating loss because they are staying longer in the market. I get annoyed because they become greedy along the line. If you are trading with $10, 15, now I have no problem with you. You stay in the market as long as you want. If you want 10%, you stay with your 10% weight. I have no problem with you. But if you are trading with $10,000 into a trade right now, if you see 2%, 3%, sell manually, get out of the market. Come again, take your 3%, get out of the market. Come again, I'm talking about the solo traders. Get into the market. If you see 1.5, you are putting your $10,000, it's good profit. Get out of the market, come again. Get out of the market, come again. People with 15, for you, no worry. You can stay. You can stay as long as you want, right? You can stay as long as you want. Okay, I hope the information is clear. All right. Okay, lastly. Okay, like I've said, if you want to enter BTCST, look here. We have done these trainings before. Wait for this candle. Wait, don't get excited. Wait for the next 6 minutes. See when, look, this is volume. If you don't know this indicator, let me give it to you. Just come to plus, FX indicators. If you don't know this indicator, the solo traders, my brothers, my friends that love solo trading. You don't have these indicators, come to here, type in VSA. That is the volume spread indicator. Look for the VSA and look for the type. The type is this guy. The type is this guy, Hari Parasatha. That's the type. Then the style, and on this one, let me just on the settings, everything is okay. What you need to do on the settings, on the volume analysis, just come and turn this to black, this last plot here. It's the one you need to change. Turn it to black only. That's all. The volume analysis indicator. So let me just drop it into drop it into two groups. Leaders there, they have the responsibility to make sure that their teams learn it. So I will just drop it in here. Right. Okay. Okay. All right, let me write it here. It's called VSA. The name of the indicator, it's called volume spread. If I'm not, there's a third word, but basically, if you are here, you'll understand me. Those are not here, they will see clouds. I have nothing I can do. So you save as default and press OK. So this volume indicator, look at this. The red is ultra volume. That is high volume in the market. Like you see, if you are using our T3 ribbon indicator, is showing you to enter. So if you want to enter this trade comfortably and you have not yet been in BTCST, wait for this trade to close. You need to be patient. There's nothing you lose. Wait for this trade to close. If it closes above, like in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to remain on this trade. Just if you're not on this trade, wait it for close in the next 3 minutes. Some of you usually chase the market, but you know, nobody can finish the money in the market. So you wait to close. Once it closes above, enter the current price, take your take profit. I don't know where it's going to close from. That's why I'm waiting. Maybe around there. It will deliver your 2% from here. If you put in $10,000, get out with your 2%. That is $200. If you put in your 1,000, wait for this trade to close. Don't get excited. If you are putting your $1,000, what is 2% of $1,020? Get out of the market. So the red means high volume, ultra volume. The yellow means high volume. The blue means low volume. And the green is moderate. So if you are using your trading and find that once you look at the current trade, it is in blue, yet the coin is trading, it's pumping, then understand that's a fake out. That's a fake out, the market will come against you. So this is just a normal indicator. So I can use the volume, I can have my auto FBI in, and those three indicators are enough. So 1 minute. 1 minute 40, I just want to just show you here. Then I can wish a perfect day. I can wish a perfect day, right? I can wish a perfect day. There is already a huge volume in this trade. I hope you see that there is high volume. It means this trade is basically doing well now. So let me do this. Then the name of the indicator also, I post it up so that people don't. Let me also get the name of the indicator very well for you, ladies and gentlemen. So many people want to get so much into the complicated phase of this, but I rarely want it. I don't want it because I want simple things. So I hope the minute is over. So this is the name of the indicator. That's the fount of the name. The reason, so let me give the name here. VSA by that name above. Now let's get back to our trade. Now, this is you see now, this is a sure deal. You see this? Once this one has closed on the line, it has closed on the line. So this is the new support. It has closed on the line. So it wants to form a new support here. Then it will create its new resistance above to this line. It has a long journey. It still has 58. It has closed on the line. On the line, not even above it, it would be a very sweet trade if it closed above it. But on the line, meaning it will go close to that above in the next 1 hour. So if you have fear, like most of you, you can wait, but this is a trade. You can take your 1%, 1.5 with good capital and get out of the trade. I hope you see what it's doing right now. It already move up and move down. It will always not be a straight candle. I hope that is okay. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for coming up here. And God bless you abundantly. Thank you so much, Coach Musa. We have basically lost him. I hope it's his network. He's here. I just want him to wind up. And we have a basic amazing day. Thank you so much. Back to you, Coach Musa, to wind up your call this morning.
All right. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Leader Julius, for the amazing session you took us through on the live trading. I only have a challenge with my phone, but I think pretty soon shall be doing this for our team members, because that is what we do always. We want the team to win. You know, it is not about being mean with the knowledge. When you learn, you teach, and he who teaches will learn more. So I urge everyone on the call to always attend Zoom. You know, however much the things may be similar, but at least each and every single day that passes by, there is something new you will learn. We as leaders, we learn from you, and you people also are supposed to learn from us. And through that, we make and we will end up making a very amazing team, and we shall always win. Now, the last thing I want to share with us as the last remark is that please make sure that when you're entering a trade, just like Leader Julius said, don't forget to have at least some margin call to help and take care of any sudden retracement or a change in the direction. Remember, the market never moves in a linear manner. There is always a callback that is made. So enter a trade while you leave some reserve of capital to take care of those retracements. Otherwise, from me to you, I must bless you this day and say have the best of the day. Bye-bye.
Hello, members. Hello.